Hi, I'm Katie. That's McCall.
And we are too delusional to care.
Woohoo! All right. So yeah, McCall has been sick for the past week. She had strep. That's not HIPAA, but it's the quietest she's been in a long time. So um, collectively, I think we took it as like you know a good and a bad. Hmm.
For both of
So,
us.
yeah. So how have you been? Are you feeling better?
I am feeling better, and it's so funny that you mentioned the quietest I've ever been because one, I live alone with my cats, so I have really no one to talk to but myself. But I did not speak. I don't think I talked for like 2 days. So then, like, when I finally did hear my voice again, I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
amazing. The people have been missing this. But
Yes,
no,
we
I'm
have.
feeling better. I'm on the mend. I was well enough to take my midterms in the middle of the week. I think I crushed it. Time will tell. But we are back.
Perfect. Well, I know you've been kind of just like laid up, but any updates? Do you want to catch up on anything? I don't have
I,
too much to catch up on, but
yeah, it was a pretty chill week just from being sick and then studying. But I do have a sweaty girl story.
oh,
I have another
let's
one.
hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I'm a catering server. So I do like bartending, serving for like weddings and like whatever other little events are going on. And at this one wedding I was working like last weekend, I hopped in to help the bartender and I get back there and I fully just start like sweating. Like I can feel my face and I can feel like my mustache and I'm like taking these people and it's not like it's a wedding. So it's like beer, wine, vodka soda, like nothing
Not that
crazy.
hard.
No, not hard at all. Minimal walking, minimal effort. And I am just like fully feeling myself sweating. I can feel it. It's going down my back. And I'm just
Mhm.
standing there like, yeah, what can I get you?
Were you nervous?
No, dude, I just sweat. I don't know. Like, I don't know
I
what it
just,
is. Like, even when I was working at the restaurant, I would
Mhm.
walk to work and I'd purposely get there like 15 minutes early so I could stand in the freezer. And then always without, maybe I am like low key nervous or like just like
Anxious, maybe.
anxious because like the first hour of my shifts, I would always be like hot. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really warm. But
Mm.
then like after that, like once I get into like the groove of things, like I'm settled in and it's not like I liked serving. Like I like people. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I anxious about this? Like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Like burger and fries, got it. Like, I don't know. So
Right.
that was my sweaty girl story. And then also I went karaokeing. Um,
Fun.
yeah, it was so
I've
fun.
never been. I've literally never been. I know.
How are we friends? We're going. I'm flying to Florida right now, actually.
I think I'd be too nervous. My social anxiety kicks in. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. But so my friend and I like found ourselves at this karaokeing place, and it
Mhm.
was amazing because first of all, the girlies just took over. Like the girlies took over karaoke, so it was like the
That's
whole
so fun.
bar, like you'd be up there singing, and like nobody's good at karaoke.
No.
So like whatever, but like we'd be up there singing and like just a bunch of girls would come out of like nowhere and just start like singing around us, dancing. We're like passing the
Mhm.
microphone around. Like it was just the most like beautiful it was just amazing. It was beautiful. Like just watching
That's
this
so
all of us come together. But then I was a sweaty girl then and I had to go outside because I karaokeed a little too hard.
too hard. Yeah.
Yeah. I was really
Yeah.
getting into it.
That makes sense.
Shania just hits different when you're at the
It
bar.
does. Yeah, especially coming off of strep, I would imagine. It's
Oh yeah, and I'm sure like my antibiotics, as I told you, you are my doctor. Um, I think the antibiotics were also making me really warm because like
mm,
even when I was like taking my one of my midterms, I was sitting in my classroom and I started getting like super hot. I'm like I'm like
yeah.
pulling up my pants. Why am I so sweaty? I didn't realize I had this many stories.
Maybe you have like some thyroid stuff going on.
You know what? I do
You're
that
like,
would
I do.
that would check out because well my mom did,
Yeah.
but she doesn't have one
My mom
anymore.
does too.
Yeah,
She
so
doesn't have, did she like she doesn't have a thyroid? She got her whole thyroid taken out?
yeah, yeah, a couple of years ago. So that's why she's always like sweating. Um,
RIP thyroid.
yeah. She can't drink caffeine anymore because of it or
Does
chocolate,
she
but
need it?
no.
It
But
energizes her money.
literally I'm like sitting in my class, like rolling, like pulling up my sweatpants, like so they're pantaloons, and I like you're not supposed to like leave the classroom, but like I'll go up to my teacher and I'm like, can I please go get water? Like I'm about to pass out. Like I'm literally about to pass
You're
out.
like in second grade again.
I'm like, teacher, I food up.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
I'm getting hot right now, so there's that too. But you know what? It probably is my thyroid. Who knows?
Why don't you show us your outfit, actually?
Oh, this
whole thing?
Okay. So this was a birthday gift. Let me
Stand up.
Yeah. The robe I've had. This was a Christmas present last year, but the pajama set is from my mother and my grandma. And I even got some slippers, but I won't show them because they're like the sandal kind. So I don't want people seeing my feet for free.
You could take them off. Oh, okay. Yeah, like you don't. Sure.
No one wants to see these bricks.
We tried that.
Yeah, we did. It did not work out. But these are my cute little slips. You know, I love a slipper.
I do too. I'm wearing them now.
Yeah, I'm in my I don't know, housewife era.
Yeah. Have you ever not been?
No, never, literally. I was thinking, so we're talking about relationships, right? This episode.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. The stories, oh my God. But I was thinking about it, and like my mom is like, you don't know how like really to cook. And I'm like, no, I just like don't like I just like don't. I don't cook. And I was thinking about it and I'm like, oh my God, like in all of my previous relationships, like the men that I've dated have cooked. Like I don't know. I guess I got like, that was like one good thing about them is like literally I had an ex who literally would meal prep for both of us for the week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that was the only good thing about him. But as we know, this is Lord Voldemort, so that's the only good thing about him.
Hate.
Yeah, hurt. But the only good thing, I didn't have to cook for like 2 years. And I fully just had like I was like, this is great. I would like stir the pasta. I'd be like, I'm helping.
Who, me?
Yeah. And then like in my last relationship, when he would cook for me, it was like breakfast. So I would like, and I'm not a big breakfast person anyway, but
breakfast is the easiest thing to make.
Tell me why it was like literally World War V when I'd wake up and be like, oh, can I have some eggs and bacon? It was like, ugh. He like literally threw the biggest fit ever. And then I didn't even think about this. But I think my mom mentioned it because I cooked dinner for the most part for both of us. Like that's like the one thing I could do is like I can cook a steak. I don't know, random, but I can, and fish. So I would mostly do dinner, and like he would be at work, but I would always cook dinner for two. And then I'm thinking, and my mom was like, why would he not just crack like because I only wanted like an egg, like maybe like an egg or two, and then like a piece of bacon. And my mom's like, why would he not just like make that and then like put it aside for you? Like, because I sleep in, like I'd always wake up like 30 minutes, like an hour after him. And that's why he didn't want to cook for me because he was already done. But I'm like, you were at work, like you weren't home. Why was I cooking dinner for two? And you're over here like crying about cracking open 2 extra eggs and, you know, taking like the 2 minutes to make me breakfast. Like, meanwhile, it's taking me like a whole freaking hour to do dinner every night. But
and
I guess that's my first dating story. But yeah, in my previous relationships, I guess I just got lucky and never had to cook. The ex, 3 exes before this one, he also cooked for me. He would make me, both of us, breakfast in the morning, and then we'd go about our day, and then I'd go back to his house normally, and then he would like grill for us. And I was like, I just got really lucky, and I just
something like that.
So yeah. Lucky is softer. I got lucky in the food department. That's about it.
Yeah. Rough.
Not so much in love.
Yeah. I don't know how we got all the way there.
I don't either. We went from sweaty girl stories and then it kind of spiraled.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, so what have you been up to?
I literally don't have any hot takes this week. I don't have anything other than I had to share this. First of all, let's do a quick little shout out to Kelly. We'll do a Kelly segment.
Oh,
so each week, so one of our very, very good friends, Kelly, isn't she cute? So she's not a part of the podcast because she's way more successful than us, and we have to include her. And so my Kelly segment of the week is this matcha. I made a little matcha. It's almost gone now. But yeah, I think she'd be proud. I think she likes matcha. She's a matcha girl, I think. So yeah, that's my Kelly segment.
She's doing the damn thing.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. So, and that's our Kelly segment. So, oh yeah, catching up. I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you know this or if you remember, but I failed chemistry.
Do you remember?
Junior or senior year? I don't remember when we took it. But it was the first semester of chemistry, high school chemistry, by the way. I failed. Our teacher, God bless him, he was like, you'll get it next semester. And I didn't have to do anything. However, Katrina is in college, and right now she's on course for like a biology major. So she has to take chemistry. She took a chemistry test, didn't do like the hottest on it. So the professor told everybody, like, take your test home. Whatever questions you got wrong, you can make corrections, and then there'll be extra credit. So Katrina comes home one day and she's like, I have no idea how to do this. Like, I cannot figure it out. And it's like the balancing.
Oh, balancing
elements.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Taking like a neutron and a proton, putting it there, here and there.
No, not that.
Nope. See,
not that one. No, it's like with elements. So it would be like each side had to be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but anyway, two of the questions I figured out less than like 5 minutes, and I was like, here you go. So just wanted to tell you that. I literally have nothing else to catch up on. Oh, did you see our fan of the week? Maybe that should be a little segment.
Was that the mean person? Yeah, I was like, we got our first hater. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so let's read it. And McCall says we got our first hater. I'll read the comment, and then we'll let everybody else decide who it was towards. So
wait, go closer to the screen.
Can you see me? Can you see me good? Perfect. I don't know the username. I don't know who this is. I think now that I'm reading it, I think it's pronounced fuckachu. So probably, yeah. Sorry for that. So anyway, the comment says, what is with the nose ring thing? Don't you people realize it makes you look like a cow?
First of all, cows are adorable. So
thank you. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I just think it's funny. First of all, we have 2 videos up and don't know you. And you're coming on here telling me that I look like a cow because I have that nose ring in. First of all, thank you for the what's that called? Thank you for the interaction. Like that only helps. So
I know I wanted to get like a fake nose ring and wear it this week, but
I know. I think every episode we should slowly start looking more like a cow. Like we'll put like spots on our face and we'll wear like the bull ring. And also it's on like the side. It's a nostril piercing. It's not even a septum piercing.
No, I've
also you can barely see it from here.
Literally. He was really looking good for him though. I mean, he paid attention. So
A+.
Yeah. Cows are cute. And honestly, like if anything, I feel like nowadays, at least most cows, they get their ears pierced. Okay. Not their
most cows I've talked to.
So most cows I've interviewed, they have their ears pierced.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, people really are up. But like it tracks like in other pages, like on Facebook and stuff that I'm on. Like it's always the old men who are like, back in my day, like I don't know, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And I like that it says, what's with the nose ring thing? Like, the thing. Like,
this thing.
Okay.
Sure. Like, somebody come get their grandpa. For real.
I don't even, this could be like a 20-year-old. I don't know.
I'm just imagining an old white man just sitting there scrolling YouTube. Whatever.
Sure. I think we should jump right into it.
Yeah, I was like writing all these stories down and I was like, oh, we got a lot of good ones.
Yeah. So we are talking dating stories. We asked for the good, the bad, the ugly, and we got the bad and the ugly, and we're pumped. So, yeah, I think we should just jump right into it.
Okay. Should I? Let's. So I just want to give a quick shout out to my sister for commenting in, sending in just have McCall talk the whole episode. So shout out to Shannon. I feel like kind of the pot calling the kettle black on that one, but
yeah. And you know, I'm not even gonna lie. I read that at first, and I was like offensive. Okay, because I thought she was like, we don't want to hear Katie talk, and I was like,
oh,
Shannon, rude.
no.
I was like, does she not know that I can see this stuff too? And then I was like, oh my God, I get it.
And then you're like, oh my God, no, McCall has a tragic.
It does make sense.
Tragic dating history.
Yeah.
To the point, I'm not allowed to like pick my partner anymore. I'm fully just like.
I wish you wouldn't.
It's up to you. Tinder has like this thing where you can do like you can invite people to be a matchmaker. I deleted Tinder because I gave up, but I was like, oh my God, that would be hilarious if like.
No way.
Like I'm like I really should just like send this link to like you, Kelly, Shannon, and then even like I would not send the Tinder link to my brothers, but I'm like I'm not picking my boyfriend. Like if you want to like date me, you need to send inquiries to my secretary, Catherine, and then you need to follow up with the committee of Kelly, Shannon, Brogan, and Liam.
We have the treasurer, the vice president.
The vice president, CEO.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh no. Okay, so starting off strong, we got. Oh, and all names are if we do say a name, they all have been changed. So just for that. Okay, so the guy I was seeing was other than honorably discharged from the Marines, but said I had to sleep with him because it was Veterans Day.
Hoorah! You know what I mean?
Thank you for your service.
That's wild. Oh my God. The entitlement.
Oh God. I can't. Okay. All right. I was sleeping over for the first time at a guy's house, and in the morning I accidentally farted. He pretended to be asleep, but I saw him smile. We have never spoke of it again.
Oh my gosh. Like never spoke of it again or never spoke again?
Never spoke of the situation. We're calling it Fartgate. We never spoke of it.
That is so funny.
So funny. Okay.
What would you do? I mean, exactly that. I wouldn't talk about it.
Well, I would just be like, oops.
Sorry.
My bad. Like, I don't know. I have IBS.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I'm like, I have IBS, so it's like.
It's going to happen. Yeah.
And I've also thought about this too. Like, now that I'm a 26-year-old teenager, if we're getting to be like serious and not like serious, but like consistently talking.
Did you mean to say that?
What?
26-year-old teenager?
Yep.
Okay, I was like, what?
I'm never growing up. That's how I feel. This is not real. I'm not 26. But I was like, you know, like when I would first start dating, like when I was younger, but I would hold in my farts, but then I would get like a super bad tummy ache, and then I'd get like bloated, and then I'm like this, and I'm just sitting there now. I'm like, I'm just not doing that. Like I'm just straight up like, if we're talking for like a month and like we've hung out, if you've seen me naked, I'm farting in front of you.
Hey, I like it.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
Like,
if you've seen me naked, I'm farting in front of you.
Yeah, like I'm not getting a tummy ache for you anymore. Like I'm too old for that. I'm too old for like tummy aches.
Bible right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh no. Okay, this is probably why I'm single. That tracks. He did coke in the bathroom 3 separate times and then tried lying to me about it.
I have questions. How do you know?
I feel like it's I don't know, maybe
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, where were they? Were they at home? That's funny. I like that.
I'm assuming they were at like a bar maybe, or
Mm.
maybe a house party. But it's like, if you're gone, like as a dude for an extended period of time, like
You're either hooking up with somebody or you're doing coke.
you're doing drugs.
Uh,
I love that. Okay.
hope he's
My
okay.
my ex situationship of 2 years entire existence. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
2.5 years situationship.
That's a long time. I just like their entire existence.
Yeah. Enough said. Enough said.
Oh no. There's another one. He got mad at me for going Christmas shopping on my day off because he wanted to hang out later that day.
Mm-hmm. The math isn't mathing, my friend.
No.
That's like a different kind of crazy. That's like obviously coke in the bathroom is crazy. But like you can't go Christmas shopping. First of all, how do you know it wasn't for you? Like chill out, man. Like it's cool. Second, like, dude, we're gonna hang out later. It's fine.
And like, I'm assuming they were together, so it's not like they were never hanging out. Like,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We got into an argument and he made me call both my parents to tell on myself. No, they both did not care at all.
What do you even say? What do you even say? And this person wasn't 15.
No, I know for a fact this person was a grown ass man.
Yeah. And it's like, do you ever just like wonder like what was going through his head at that time? Like how upset do you have to be? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. Period. I don't know. But like to sit there and you have to call your parents and tell them that you lied to me. I'm sorry, sir. Do you understand? Like,
yeah, like,
and I think it would be different if these people were together. We don't know if these people were together for like 50 years, 20 years, 10 years, I don't know, whatever. And it's like, you're married and you cheat on your partner. And it's like, well, tell your parents because I'm not doing it. Like, or whatever. Even that.
That's different.
Weird. But it's like dating.
Yeah. And there was no cheating in this story.
Yeah, let's get that very clear.
But there's the whole fact that, like, should I just tell the whole story?
Yeah, let's get me riled up.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll fucking tell. Oh my God.
That one with me. So what had happened is my high school ex-boyfriend is best friends with my brother, and then like all of the people I grew up with, like all the neighborhood boys that I grew up with since I was like 4 years old. And I was in town for my sister-in-law's baby shower, and I had told everybody, like begged my parents, begged my brother, please don't have him come over. Like it's just going to start a huge argument with me and my partner at the time. And everyone was basically like, F you, we're tired of dealing with this. Because at this point, this is like, gosh, I think we were like a year and a half into our relationship. So it was like just like a constant battle. And then like my whole family's obviously known him since we were 15. So they were like, he's fine. Like they're hanging out. Like we're not, like we can't keep doing this anymore. They were tired of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're setting up for the baby shower the night before. All the boys are in the garage having fun, hanging out, like all my friends too. I don't go in the garage at all. Like I completely avoided having fun. And I just stayed inside my parents' house. I went to bed early that night. I was so sad because like I miss my friends and I never get to like really see them. So when we were coming, like whatever, fast forward, it's the day I'm leaving. We're driving back to Missouri where we lived at the time. I go into the gas station to go to the bathroom, and I come outside and he gets mad at me for something. And I'm thinking that he saw like the text message to my brother, like saying, can you please tell so-and-so like to not come over or like go home, please, like whatever. I think that's what he found. So I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like I told him, I was like, okay, yeah, like he ended up showing up, but like once he got there, like I went and, like I didn't hang out with them. I went in my house, like I didn't talk to, like I didn't go in the garage with and hang out with them, nothing, like never even spoke a word to him. And he was like, I wasn't talking about that. He was mad because he found like earlier in the night before set X came over, I was outside, whatever, and I took a picture with my two oldest friends, John and Mike, and whatever. So we took a picture together. John sent them to me. I just hadn't saved them in my camera roll yet. And he knows these people. Like, he knows who they are. And he was mad. Like, he thought I was like, I don't know why. He was mad that I like had those pictures, and he thought I was like lying about, I don't even know why, like what he thought, but he was mad about those pictures. And it was like, they were literally just pictures. Like, we were just friends. But then that turned into a whole other big argument. And then that's why he made me call my parents, is because I lied to him like the previous night or whatever and said that my ex didn't come over because I was honestly I was trying to avoid an argument, but then I ended up telling on myself. So when I called my parents and told them that I was like, hey, I lied, like I told him that he wasn't there and he was
And
there.
this is on speakerphone, so he can hear it.
Yeah,
he knows.
He's on speakerphone. So I called my dad first because I think my mom was like working or something. So I called my dad, and my dad was like, first of all, my dad's like, okay,
are you
like,
okay?
My dad's like, why are your what's your mom doing right now? Like, why are you calling me? So he basically was like, okay, you know, I mean, lying's never good. And I was like, I know, like, obviously, like, whatever. He's like, but you know, if so and so is that insecure and you've told him multiple times, like he knows that he's like a family friend at this point, then he needs to get over his insecurities. And I'm on speakerphone, so he hears this, but I tell my dad, like, yeah, like I'm calling my parents because I lied to him, but then he told me to lie to my parents that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. So he storms out of my bedroom, and I'm like, I don't know what you expected, like whatever. And then same thing, I call my mom and I tell her the same thing, and she was like, okay, like, and she goes off because she's sick of it. Like, she's sick of the drama of like, he can't come over or whatever. So she was like, he's a part of our family. Like, there's no change in that. Like, he's either going to have to get over it or whatever, or just never come over. And so he hears this, and I hang up the phone, and that obviously that started like a bigger fight because he was like, your family sucks. And I'm like,
I will ruin you.
Yeah, I was like, my family is actually really awesome. But I was like, I literally was like, I don't know what you expected from that conversation. Like, I have tried telling you that, like, I avoid him at all costs. Like, when I do go home, and if he is there, like, I would avoid him at all costs, wouldn't talk to him, whatever. I literally stayed inside and, like, didn't have any fun that, like, I mean, I had fun, obviously, like, talking to my mom. But I was like, I didn't partake in any activities, like, with them. Like, they were out having a good time, making memories, and I was just inside making flower bouquets and putting together baby shower stuff. So I was like, so stupid. And then whatever. So that happened.
So crazy.
Yeah, and at the time, I think at this point in my life, I was 23, and I think he was 28 or 29.
He was like 29.
Yeah.
I want to say he was 30 before you guys broke up.
I don't remember. I think he was turning 30 the year, like a couple months before we broke up. Because he wasn't 30 yet, but because I was like, before we broke up, obviously, I was like, what are we going to do for your 30th birthday?
Yes.
But yeah, so that was
that's another story.
Yeah. So that was absolutely insane. And yeah, that happened.
Wild. I'll start off with a long one, and we'll go. So this writer-in is a male. So a lot of our stuff has been female. Like, female written in about guys and stuff. So this one's about a girl, and I died. So here it is. So I was dating this girl long distance for about a year while I was stationed in Japan. We knew each other from middle school and had a thing way back when, and ended up rekindling friendship that turned into us dating. We were kind of on and off for most of a year because she was insane and would break up with me when I didn't text her back within 5 minutes. but I was just like, that's one of her quirks. We've all been there. I finally got some time off and flew home for 30 days on leave. We finally hung out in person, and she was actually pretty fun to be around. One night towards the beginning of my leave, I was over at a friend's house and we were all drinking. Since I drove, I wasn't planning on driving home and rather crash at my friend's house. She offered to come pick me up and bring me back to her place. It was the first time I had been over to her house. Every time we had hung out, it's either been her coming to my mom's crib. We get to her place and walk in and head to the room. I sit down on the bed and she says, "Let me make sure there's no fleas on the bed," or something like that. And in my half drunk mind, all I could think was, why the fuck would there be fleas in your bed? She says to give her a minute while she goes to the bathroom. She gets up, opens the door to the bathroom connected to her room. And all I heard was thunderous crackling of plastic bottles and paper bags. It shook the floor. It was so loud. I turned to my right to see what the fuck was going on, and all I see are McDonald's bags and Circle K cups avalanching down from the bathroom door. She could only open the door less than halfway to get into the bathroom. A mountain of old food containers and drink cups was about 3 feet high. At this point, I'm genuinely scared, and now I understand that this girl is legitimately crazy. But I just went back to sleep. I got an Uber back to my car as soon as I could in the morning. Also, there were definitely fleas in the bed. I was incredibly distant with her for the rest of my leave, and once I got back to Japan, I broke it off with her. My friends were thankful I did, saying she would have murdered you in your sleep.
No.
That's a lot to unpack.
No.
I don't like being dirty,
No.
But my thing is like, okay, some people are messier than other people, and I can, fine, whatever. That's a different level of messy.
Messy is different than dirty.
Yeah. And to have somebody over, especially someone that you're like romantically into, could you imagine? Like,
No, I have like even like when I have like my friends over, I floor to ceiling scrub this place. And
tidy up a bit?
I'm like, and that's like, especially like I haven't had a man over here, but I imagine if I did have a man over, I would spend like the entire morning just cleaning.
Yeah.
And like my apartment is like never dirty. Like it's like it is what it is. I live alone. I have OCD. But like
I think the best worst part about this is like, one, you knew he was coming home on leave. You guys are dating, right? So you would think if your boyfriend or, whoever you're seeing is coming home, you don't see them, you're long distance, you would be like, oh, I got to tidy up, and then he's at somebody else's house. Like he is somewhere else and you offer to pick him up and bring him home. Like that's a different kind of delusional of like, I'm going to pick him up and bring him over and tell him to be careful of fleas in my bed. Where did they come from? First of all.
Yeah, like is there an animal? Like how did they get there? Do fleas just spawn? Now I'm scared.
Do you hear that?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I have construction going on too though, so.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't even know. It sounds like a drummer. I got G flip right out my window.
Now that's like a new fear of mine. Like, do fleas just spawn like out of dirt?
I know. I should have asked, like, did she have a dog? I feel like that was so much and so little at the same time. Like, I need more.
I have so many questions. Like, what for? Yeah, I don't even know. And like, props to him for staying the night. Like, I'm assuming they were probably like, he was probably just like drunk and like just passed out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, did he get fleas? Like, did he immediately go to Petco the next morning and like get some shampoo, or like, what did we do?
Oh my God. I think Petco has flea stuff for sure.
They probably told. I would be so. If I was him, I'd be mad because I'd be like, I don't want these. Like these, I don't want to bring these fleas to my car. and then like to my parents' house. Like this is just a hot mess.
Yeah.
That's just a lot.
You know,
yeah, good thing. And I'm surprised that he like didn't just break it off the next day, to be
I
honest.
know.
I
know.
just
Good for you for like unkindling that so slowly. I would have been like, nope.
I'm so sorry. Like that's like I should not say I can't really handle. I can handle messy, to a degree, but dirty, no.
Yeah.
No, like we are adults.
Yeah.
Go like
And I think it's different if you leave your sweatshirt on the ground or a pair of pants on the ground for a day, whatever. I don't care. To leave like food bags and like cups, I just
like, why do you have like Mount Kilimanjaro going on over here?
And you think like she opens the door and she probably goes into the bathroom and she's looking at herself like, you secured this one, man. You are good. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that story. I thought that one was a good one.
That is insane.
Yeah. All right. Should I go for another one?
Mm-hmm.
So this one is also a little bit long, but okay. I'd been seeing a guy for a couple of months at school and came home for the holidays. We had never really gone out on a proper date because he played hockey at a different school. So I would just go to his games and we would grab a casual drink or go to his house to watch a movie. He had a hockey tournament near my hometown for the holidays. So when he was in town, he decided to take me on our proper first date. He was so excited to surprise me with where it was. And he took me to a Red Lobster for the unlimited shrimp deal and ate off my plate with his bare hands. I pushed through it and was obviously thankful for the food. But when he went to drop me off, he invited himself into my family home, even though I did not want him to meet my family yet. He made insanely political and abrasive jokes when meeting my mother, and then overstayed his welcome and tried to sleep over. I want to know what those comments are.
I do too.
Oof. I eventually got food poisoning from the Red Lobster, had to miss Christmas, and he was pissed I wouldn't go on a second date with him because I was throwing up with a fever. That unfortunately wasn't good enough for him, so he showed up to my neighborhood while I was sleeping and slept in the Dunkin' parking lot outside of our neighborhood until I woke up. He called me 8 times, FaceTimed me twice, and tried to wake me up, and I couldn't tell you how many texts. We didn't talk after that ever again. Turns out this kid is actually best friends with my current boyfriend's best friend and tried to break us up when we started dating. Okay. I get you read the room wrong and you're like hanging out. And you're like, should I just sleep over? Okay. I'll give it to you, whatever. You're meeting like for the first time. I need to know what those comments were. The political one. I need to know. But to show up and sleep in a parking lot and like wait, in his mind, he was probably like, this is romantic.
Yeah.
It's like Romeo and Juliet type of shit. No, sir. Go home.
That is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. I thought
that is so crazy. And like, so for me, like, I love meeting the family. I am always so excited. Like, that's like my favorite part. I'm like, yay, I gotta meet the family. Like, woohoo. But like, to just be like, I need to know like what was going through his brain, because that's like a big thing. So like, I like to be prepared. I like to be prepared.
And around the holidays.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I could not even imagine, like, if that happened to me, my mom being my mother, would be like, okay, so, like, what do you, like,
I think it's time for you to go.
Yeah, literally, she'd be like, so, like, what time are you leaving?
Yeah.
Like, that is my mother to a T.
Weird.
But, like, to just be like, that's the first time you're meeting, like, you don't want it to be, like, something, like, not, like kind of special, like, I don't know, in my brain, like,
yeah.
I at least want people to be prepared. That like
maybe like a family dinner or like an outing, or I don't know.
Yeah, like everybody knows that this is happening. I need to know what those comments are. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just like how weird, because like they went out for dinner, I think it was, and then you come home after, and it's like your parents don't know he's coming in, and so they're probably sitting on the couch, or what if they're sleeping? Like I don't know. What if they're doing their own thing, and then it's like, hi, who are you? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And the Red Lobster, that's funny to me.
That is really funny.
Yeah. I think we talked about it last week. Like
Chili's and Applebee's.
Yeah, if the vibes are right, who cares? Whatever. I'm not a big fan of like seafood, so Red Lobster I'd be
Yeah.
not happy about. But like at the end of this story, like that is the least of
That is the
my.
least of my concerns. I'm concerned about the stalking. That is what I am concerned about.
I
And his
feel like
brain. Oh,
no. I feel like we're about to say the same thing. I feel like men genuinely think there is a fine line between like stalking and like being romantic. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna sleep in her like in the parking lot down the street from her. You know what parking lot this is. You
Yes.
know how close. Just by the story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is wild to me to think as this person I had to drive there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, maybe it was like a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive, however long it was. You had that amount of time to be like, is this a little weird? What if
Yeah.
she takes this wrong?
Like you're fully like getting dressed, getting in your car, going through the motions, and you are still like, this is a good idea. She hasn't answered my phone call
Calling.
or text
Yeah.
messages. This is a good idea.
Yeah. And could you imagine? First of all, you can't even tell me that he was like scared that something happened. First of all, you guys aren't like dating. It's
Yeah.
not serious. You cannot just like show up at somebody's house or down the street from them. But if you were worried about her, you would show up at her house,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not like down the street and wait for
No.
her. Weird.
Yeah, I think that's weird. Like that's situationships. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. I know. I have more. Okay. I was seeing a guy for about 6 months in college. I was infatuated with this man. And he finally invited me to his hometown because COVID restrictions had lifted enough for us to go out in public. I could not wait to meet his friends because I have heard so much about them. We got a few drinks with his friends after he took me out to dinner, and then all went back to his place after to keep the night going. On the way home from the bar to his friend, on the way home from the bar to his house, some of his friends rode with us because he DD'd. His best girly friend was one of these people, and she made me, his girlfriend at the time, sit in the trunk so she could have shotgun. We broke up 2 months later.
Tell me they're dating.
Dude.
Tell me they're dating. It's always the girl best friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. That's always the person that I wish I could show you. I think it's Fish. Fish keeps like reaching his hand under the door. He like wants to get in here so bad. But oh my God, it's always the one you expect.
Yep. It is literally like girls like we know. And I like it's so complicated. It's like when the girl best friend thing, I'm like, if a guy has a girl best friend, run. I have been a victim of the girl best friend.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, like that's not what is happening here. Like make it very clear. If he does anything to hurt you, I am team girl and I will let him know that he's an idiot.
Yeah.
And I very much do that to my guy best friends when they mess up. I'm like, you got it like that. All right.
Yeah. Oh my God. That scared me.
Most loyal man in my life. Hello. Hi, baby boy. It's a baby.
I hate it here.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh my gosh.
So I have a few more.
Okay.
Do you want to share some, or do you want
I
to
have
go?
I have a couple like short, like mine are pretty short for the most part.
I've got longer ones for sure.
Okay. So here's the good one. Gave me a yeast infection because he had sex with a random girl the night before we did.
Come on, man.
You doing?
You know,
you didn't take a shower,
right? It's fine. You could sleep with 4 people in one day. That's not my issue. But yeah, clean yourself.
Take a shower. Wrap that shit up. I don't know. Yeah. Leaving for college, and he slept through our plans, so he said he would wake up in the morning to say goodbye. He slept through that too. I was fully bawling in the airport terminal.
Oh my God, my heart.
You know, F that guy.
Yeah.
Texted his ex the day before we got together. I miss you.
I feel like that is so typical.
It is so typical. Like, what's the point?
He's like, let me just send out a mass text, see who's gonna respond.
Yeah, just in case.
Right.
Got mansplained the stock market for 2 hours and had to text my friend to come save me. Pretended I had plans and left.
That's rough.
That,
Also typical.
also, like, been there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, gotta go. Like, this was not on my list of things to do today. Thank you.
Wild.
Okay. He didn't come home from the bars, and when he finally did at 7:30 the next morning, he tried telling me that he was just thinking all night and wanted to be alone. Found out he was with his younger female coworker in the car for 4.5 hours, but they were just talking.
I would love to dissect this one.
The girl best friend. This is the girl best friend. Right again.
There she is. There she is.
I hate that. I got picked up from my college dorm on a motorcycle for a date, and all my sorority sisters sent me off. That's a cute one.
That's so funny.
I like that one. That was
They're probably all like,
yeah. I'm picturing like the wave on the side of the street, but then at the same time, this is like not realistic. I'm also picturing like the tunnel, like
yeah,
that's not realistic because it's a motorcycle, but
wind blowing.
Yeah, like there's a banner and like some streamers. Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Cute.
I like that one. Okay. I met this guy on Tinder and saved him in my phone as maybe Steve, because the iPhone does that.
Yep.
He was older, and a lot of the dates we went on were more sophisticated. I finally went back to his place for a wine night, and when I went to the bathroom, his shower curtain was a giant baby shark, like Baby Shark, the do. I got the ick and never talked to him again.
Oh my God. You know what sucks? That's like, I get it. But like, what do you gotta take a loss to get a win sometimes.
We do. And we like a picky queen. That just makes me realize.
And if
like,
that's, yeah.
I'm like, that was out of all the shower curtains. I would have been like, okay, like what's the story behind it? And the story behind it was that he just genuinely really liked it. So it wasn't even like a gag gift, like didn't have a shower curtain. My buddy got me this as like a white elephant. Yeah. No, this was just like him just fully really liking it.
Yeah, this is where I differ from this person. I'd be like, you guys, I'd send it in the group chat and I'd be like, I think this is the one. This is
because I'm like, then I'm thinking, I'm like, what like random, like I'm like, I don't know, like would a guy come over to my apartment and see like my sock monkey stuffed animal and be like,
out?
Yeah, that's like my this one's kind of funny because I'm like, now it had me reevaluating like things that like I have, and I'm like, would that be like an ick to a guy? Like I have a picture of myself on my wall, just me. Like would someone see that and be like, oh, she's so full of herself? Or would they see it as, this is somebody who's really cool?
She's got some character to her.
She's got some spunk.
Oh my God, I love that one.
That one is really funny, and just because just knowing the person, I'm just like, that checks out. Like it checks out that this would happen.
Yep.
Dated this guy in the beginning of COVID. Things were going really well until he came over for the first time. We were making out and I could feel someone looking at me. So I opened my eyes and he was fully making out with me with his eyes open, and he never once shut them.
Why?
What was the point? Did nobody ever tell him?
Right? Like I was going to say, do you think this is somebody who has always done that?
Yeah. Or was he just like, she's so beautiful?
You can't even see that close up.
I know, it'd be like, oh my God, she's beautiful.
Yeah, your eyes are going cross-eyed. Oh my God.
That is, and I've had times where I've kissed people and like, I don't like just like not thinking, and, like accidentally like not close our eyes, and we were both like, ew, that was weird. Let's never do that again. Or if we did do it again,
you haven't been with them long enough.
Yeah, it was like a joke. Like we'd be like, it's like a joke, but just to fully like the first time that you're being like romantic with someone, I'm like, okay, so this was 3 years ago, and I'm like, this is kind of like he's probably kissed other people at this point in his life, and like,
I imagine.
Has nobody told him, like, hey, buddy,
maybe don't.
It, don't
That
look.
is so, yeah, that's ew.
That's
That's
so
like
weird.
serial killer vibes to me.
Yeah.
And do
Honestly,
you
that's
think like when she opened her eyes, like what's happening right now? Do you think he was like,
smiled.
yeah,
Did a
hey.
little hey.
Like how do you? I mean, how do you know? Like how do you know he's keeping his eyes open the whole time? Because I would imagine they're both just like, like looking at each other, like, what's happening? Are you gonna close yours?
Yeah, that one is weird. Like and just to start off the bat, it's not even obviously this person didn't like this guy enough to like see him again and then maybe be like, hey, just so you know, like, can you shut your eyes when we kiss? Thanks.
Yeah.
Always
How
so
do
patient.
you? Yeah. Oh, hello, hey, big guy.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like that would creep me out. That would that would
Yeah.
weird me out. I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. But now, I mean, I've been with Katrina 3 years, a little over 3 years. And sometimes I just forget. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry, I've been looking at you this whole time.
You're like, oh my bad.
Yeah.
But, like, you recognize that it's weird. You're like, wait, why
Yeah.
am I doing that?
Yeah.
But like, because you're together long enough, it's like, okay, whatever, LOL. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
moving on.
You
Like,
lose
we're
that awkwardness. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my
It's a
god.
different kind of vulnerability.
Yeah, like, and there's like vulnerability and like comfortability where you can just like whatever.
Yeah.
Not the first time.
Yeah.
No.
And not like a peck either.
Like a full blown like just
Gross.
making out. Okay. So a man told me, and I quote, "It makes me feel icky that you drink alcohol." Meanwhile, this man
Go to
smoked all the
therapy.
weed in the world. That was the part 2.
Go to therapy.
Yeah. I'm so confused. Like, I understand, like, I don't know. Like, if this guy was, like, sober, sure, like, whatever. But I feel like that's something you maybe should have talked about.
Okay, that hot take maybe, I don't know. Just because you go sober doesn't mean
Yeah.
your partner has to. If that is some work that you want to do. Now, I will say there have been like months or, certain times where Katrina's like, I don't want to drink. And I'm like, yeah, I won't either, because I know that it's hard to be around people when they're drinking and you want to drink and stuff. But that is your own work. Like I said, go to therapy. If you can't be around somebody who's drinking or you don't like when they drink, I feel like there was also not enough context in that story to understand like why. Like,
Yeah, like there was no like follow up as to like why do you not like alcohol? Like, is it like a trauma thing for you, or are you?
and if it is, that's your thing to work through.
I think what I'm stuck on is just the makes
Icky.
me feel icky.
Go take a shower.
Yeah, go scrub down. I don't like just the whole. It makes me feel icky.
And this was like a first date, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was like a relatively new relationship, and this person had said that her and her girlfriends just went out for like a little drink after school or something, after class, and then he said it makes him feel icky that she drinks alcohol. And I want to say they were talking for like a week or something. Like, it was a really short amount of time.
Yikes.
So that's icky.
Yeah. Also, McCall and I are paraphrasing. That might not be the right word.
Yeah.
Some of these stories. So some of them we talked to people on the phone or they sent us like voice messages or whatever. Some were like reading verbatim and just leaving out names. But yeah. So not all of them are McCall's dirty little secrets that she has.
Yeah.
But,
I actually think I've read only like 2 of mine. I think the one that obviously was mine, and then I think there was only like one more in there that I had.
Yeah.
So Shannon.
Yeah.
Other people have issues too. Not just me. I just happen to have more than the average. But
yeah. I have one. I'll give 2. I'll give my like dating story. I didn't date much. And then I'll give my current how that happened, my current relationship. So first one, I can't even remember his name. We had a friend in high school who like set me up on a blind date with her boyfriend's cousin, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, whatever. So we like texted for maybe like a week, decided to go get dinner and go to a movie. And so right next to the movie theater is Steak and Shake. So I believe that's where we went. I could be like mixing up stories, but I'm pretty sure we went to Steak and Shake. And then, he was homeschooled. So he does not have like a whole lot of like social experiences and stuff. And I want to say I met him before this like date by ourselves. Like I want to say we went out with this other couple bowling or something like that. So it was me, the girl, and then the two cousins.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And then, fast forward to the date. We're going to the movies and we're seeing Interstellar now at 25. Great movie. I've seen it a few times. I'm like really into it. At like 15 or 16, however old I was like, such a long movie, first of all. Like I wouldn't go see that movie unless I was like dating you. Like if I knew how long that was. Anyway, so we get to the movies and we go sit. And we walk into the theater and he's got the tickets, playing that gentlemanly like card, whatever. And he was like, okay, so where do you want to sit? And I was like, what's on the ticket?
Yeah.
I don't know what's on the ticket. And he was like, oh, no, you don't like, there's no seats on the ticket. And I was like, this was like a new movie. So like there for sure were seats on the ticket.
It was like the recliner seats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this here.
Yeah. I was like, yes, I'm pretty sure there is. But back then and now I don't have it in me to speak up. So I was just like, okay, wherever you want to sit then. And I'm hoping like, God, I just hope we don't take somebody's seat. Like, I hope we don't. And so he goes, do you want to just sit right here? And so if you've ever walked into a movie theater and you turn right away, what are the seats right there?
Oh, no.
The handicap seats. And I was like, I think those are handicapped. And he was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, no, they're fine. As there's like a handicap sign, like right behind it. And I'm like, okay. So we sit and I am like anxiety panicking because I'm like, I hope this theater is not packed. I hope somebody doesn't come in and need these seats. 10 minutes into the movie, a lady gets wheeled in her wheelchair. And she's like, what's happening? So the guy who wheels her in goes and like gets a movie theater worker and clearly standing like right next to us. I was like, hey, I think those are our seats, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm looking at this kid. He is just like into the screen. And I'm like,
not even acknowledging what's happening.
No. And I'm like, I think we're in their seat. And he's just, and I'm like literally shaking. Oh my gosh. We ended up sitting there, I want to say the whole movie. I don't remember, but yeah, after that took me home. Never spoke to him again. Not because of that. It was, just weird and whatnot. But compared to the stories that we've read, it's like pretty weak. But
that's traumatizing as like a young, like as a teenager, and like I can like just the anxiety, like that would just make me want to cry. I don't know. I feel like I would just fully be like, okay, well, if you're not gonna move, I'm gonna move. Like I'm not gonna be a part of this.
Yeah. And it's so awkward because everybody hates teenagers anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, awesome. Like we are the talk of the town. And I felt bad because, he was like homeschooled. I barely knew the kid. Like we've had maybe a handful of conversations. Like didn't talk on the phone in between, like went on this blind date, double date. And then like a week goes by and we go to this movie. And so I'm like, I have no idea what to do. Like, yeah, it was very, very odd.
That's traumatizing.
Yeah. I feel like you should tell my story.
Okay, this is my favorite story to tell if I have to.
And then we'll read her perspective.
Yeah. Okay, so my perspective and Katie's perspective. Okay, so you're in Alaska, I'm in Missouri, and you FaceTime me, which is not out of the blue. I'm like, okay, cool. But
it was late. It was pretty late.
Yeah, which I was like, ma'am. I'm like up to all unholy hours.
Like midnight late. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get your FaceTime and I'm like, obviously answer. What's up, girl? Like, hey. And you call me because you're like frantically on FaceTime and you're like telling me, you're like, oh my God, there's this girl, like she DM'd me, like we've been talking, like I'm going over to her house for like a one night stand. And I was like, yes, you are, do it. And I remember you called me because at the time I may or may not have had experience with
Yeah, and I was like freshly out of a marriage and like
yeah.
just
So
trying to
you
put
like
myself
had
back out
you were
there.
like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm not sure. And I had been on the streets for some time at this point. And I was like,
Yes.
okay, like and I was like, well, shower, obviously. Like if you are planning on having a one night stand, like take a shower, shave it up, you know, do the whole thing. So we were fully FaceTiming me while you're in the shower. We're like you're frantically talking because like this was like very much like a hey, like what are you doing
Yes.
situation. So you are like frantically trying to go. And I remember you were like, do I pack a bag? Should I bring like overnight stuff? And I was like, Katie, do not bring a bag. And you're like, well, I want to bring a toothbrush. Like I know I'm probably going to sleep over. And I'm like, yes, but like you also like, you don't want to go over there for the first time and be like, hey, I brought my overnight bag just in case it was like a, you know, hey, didn't go again situation. You go home. And I remember we just went back and forth about the stupid overnight bag. And I remember I was like, Katie, I don't know. Like, no, brush your teeth before you go. Like, just get all clean. You'll be fine. And I think I remember, I don't know if I asked you, but I was like, Katie, I don't know. Is that like a lesbian thing? Like, is that normal? Do you just bring a bag? And I remember we were going back and forth about the type of bag. So you're like, well, maybe I'll bring like a drawstring bag. So it's not like, because I told you, I was like, well, bring a purse and just like put your toothbrush and like deodorant and something like in it. That way it's not like super obvious and you can kind of like sneak away to the bathroom, brush your teeth really quick. She'll never know. And you did bring a drawstring bag. And I told you, I was like, Katie, just leave it in your
Leave it in the
car.
car. Yeah.
And then that way, if the situation does like a sleepover situation pops up, you can be like, I'm cute and quirky.
I'm prepared.
I'm prepared. And then I don't remember, did you bring it in? Did you end up bringing the bag?
No, I just brought in a bottle of wine.
Period. And then you did spend the night, and then you did spend the night for, I don't know, how many years later are we at?
3.5 years.
Yeah. I remember fully being like, Katie, what are you doing? Like 2 weeks later. And you were like, oh, I'm just going home really quick. And then me and Katrina are going, like, I went back to her house. And I was like, at the time, I was like blown away. I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
this was supposed to be your hoe face.
Yeah, I was like, you were supposed to be dating. We were supposed to be single together from a distance. I don't know, quite the distance. But I was like, you were supposed to be single. We were supposed to be able to be like, LOL, making funny stories.
Yeah.
And then you just fully got a girlfriend. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. In my defense, I thought that's what she was looking for too. Like I thought fully she was one of those.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this because I love Katrina and she knows it, but I totally also thought, I was like, she's giving fuck girl energy.
Yeah.
So she was cool. I remember being like stalking her Instagram and I was like, Katie, she's like really cool. Like, look at her hiking and stuff. Like, she's super cool.
She puts off the vibe.
Yeah. But now here we are, however many years later.
Yeah.
You are my mom's. But I think you said Katrina's side is so much more wholesome. And I just think back to and you FaceTimed me the whole car ride to her place. And then I remember you being like, should I keep you on? And I was like,
no,
probably not. You should. You know what? I love you and we're close, but like, we're not that close. So.
Like, why? Do you want to be?
I was like, no, hang up the phone. Like, that is for sure weird. If you just walk into her house, here's a bottle of wine, here's my best friend on FaceTime saying hi.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Oh my God. I just remember the franticness of it all. And you're in the shower, shaving your legs, and we're just going back and forth. Like, what should I wear? What do I do?
Literally.
How do I initiate? And I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Oh, the franticness of it all.
Yeah, that's a long story. And it's so funny because I'll give my side of it past that. So I get there and, we hang out for a little bit and whatever, it's getting even later. It's like probably 3 or 4 in the morning. And I'm like, so should I go? I literally said, I'm like, should I go? And she's like, no, like just sleep over. It's fine. Like it's cool. So I'm like, all right, fine. And so we're like trying to fall asleep. And that's always weird. You're in somebody else's bed. I don't know, whatever.
You're just
And
fully like,
yeah, literally. And she goes, should we go to Seward? Which is like 2 hours away from where we lived. Because we were like couldn't sleep and we were talking about like getting coffee in the morning or whatever. And she said, let's just go to Seward. And I was like, okay, sure. I'm in my reckless, like I get on a plane right now era. Like
yeah.
I was going through it. And so we literally got up, drove to Seward 2 hours and talked about everything under the sun. And yeah, we've been like inseparable. Her side of it. She writes, best dating story. A girl from my ALS class DM'd me about a local spot in Alaska being open for the season. That same day, I invited her over, and she ended up sleeping over. And the next morning, after zero sleep, we drove 2 hours to Seward, Alaska, and I've had the time of my life ever since. We saw sea otters and walked along the beach. Magical, yeah.
So wholesome. Meanwhile, in the back, in the backstory, we're like yelling at each other over FaceTime.
Yeah. And then like after, I'm like, guys, I don't know what to do. Like this girl's in love with me. Like literally right off probably a weekend. She was like, we're going to be together forever. And I was like, okay.
I do remember the whole like beginning saga. We were all like, well, is this a good idea? You just got out of
and I was like, no. Yeah. I don't know how to leave at this point.
So she got you.
Yeah.
I like Katrina's wholesome side, her wholesome story.
Yeah, I know.
So you know that TikTok sound where it's like and then I'm spinning like a bell. That's like literally like, Katrina's version is like I'm spinning, and we're in the background like
yeah, literally. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, so another story. Matched with a girl on Tinder once, invited her over, and she was absolutely a catfish. So I faked a phone call pretending my friend was in the car. Pretending my friend was in a car accident. And I told her I had to go so she would leave. And then I drove to McDonald's to get food. Classic.
That is classic.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I honestly don't think I've ever had to be like, call me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that treacherous, but I also haven't had a lot of first dates, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I have either. Mainly, one, I don't date, just fall in love and, but I'm trying to think. I also don't think I would. I think I could literally get the vibe that somebody's going to kill me and I'd be like,
yeah, I mean, my one first date story off of Tinder was the one I told like in our first episode, and like that was it. Like,
yeah,
the most of the time, like every time I've dated a guy, like it's always started out as like we've had mutual friends, so we hang out a lot, and then like we eventually just kind of like end up together. So like the first date is usually not anything like super big because we've already hung out. So it's like
yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna read one, but oh my god, did I lose it? Oh no, okay. So I had to take notes during this was like a phone call.
Okay.
Somebody told me over the phone, and so I did take notes. So if I bounce around. Okay, so this person was about to go into their sophomore year of college. Hopped on Tinder and whatnot. Found this good-looking guy, 30 minutes away. Drove there, whatever. She gets there, and 21 is on the TV. Do you know what that is?
No. 21 Savage?
I don't know.
What's 21?
I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, and then there's like laundry all over his bed, whatever. And so she sleeps over, things happen, whatnot. And couldn't sleep, like just had like the weirdest day, night, whatever. So whatever, that happens. And she's like, cool, great. So then they're hanging out again, however long later. And the topic of weed came up. So they're talking about weed, she was kind of in a pothead stage, whatever. And he goes, oh, well, I actually can't smoke. Like I can't do weed. And she's like, why not? He goes, I got in trouble. She's like, with weed? Like, what happened? And so she's like trying to get it out of him. Like, what do you mean? What happened? And he goes, oh no, it's because I got charged with third-degree robbery, and I was on the run for a year. Excuse me?
Well, what?
How wild, first of all. He was 24 years old, and at the time she was like 19.
Yeah.
So he just like, here are some comments that he made. He said, oh, I was in jail when the Cubs won the World Series, which was a few years ago.
2016.
But when this happened, when he said this, it was like a few months after, like they were together, and this was like the Cubs won a few months before. And then she was like, well, when did you get out? And he said like June or July, and it was August. So this is like recent. And so, they hung out, whatever. She goes to leave the next morning or whatnot, walks down the stairs, and some guy's just like sitting on the couch watching TV, and it like hit her. She was like, I think this is a halfway house. Like, I think I'm at a halfway house right now. So yeah, she ended up getting chlamydia from this guy, all of that.
No.
Yeah. And then fast forward her senior year, so like 2 years later, she's scrolling and matches with him on Tinder again. And she's like, I'm just going to match, or swipe. I don't know.
LOL.
Yeah. And she's like, it's just going to be funny. And he immediately messages her and is like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for you. I couldn't remember your last name. And so she was like, nope, that's weird. And yeah, ended up like texting for a while. And she happened to ask like, hey, what's your body count? Like, I don't know, that question that comes up when you're young. And he says, 88, just sent back 88. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know that story was like probably mistold, and I hope I did it somewhat justice. When I listened to it, my jaw was like on the ground, so I think I blacked out for half of it. But
I just am like, wait, okay, so first of all, like a month after he got out of jail, did he get this STI in jail, or
no, it doesn't seem like it. He actually like texted her immediately and was like, hey, I just tested positive, just let you should know. So like you can appreciate that,
the honesty, but it's like, oh, he was working.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy. Like, I'm not saying, on Tinder, your Tinder profile has to be like ex-con, whatever, but could you imagine you hook up with somebody and you're just like getting to know each other, and he's like, nah, I was actually in jail.
Yeah, especially like 19.
Yeah.
I'd be like, excuse me, what?
Yeah.
You were
crazy.
Where?
Yeah. Wild story. I wish I told that story as much justice as they did when they told
This is when I wish it wasn't anonymous. We could have that person call in and tell the whole story, so everyone's jaws are just collectively like.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee they would do that.
Oh God. Like I'm already like
I could call right now and be on the phone.
Probably actually. Oh yeah. My. So yeah, that's wild. I think the statement like years later, and then him being like, oh my God, I've been looking for you. That would freak me out, ex-con or not, because I'd be like.
My question is like, he goes, I couldn't remember your last name. And so, I asked this person, I said, do you think they remembered your first name either? Because like at that point, it's like,
yeah.
Are they just trying to make you
feel better? I don't know.
Yeah. And again, obviously nothing against this person, but like,
yeah.
Is this guy telling the truth, or is he crazy? Oh, and she ended up looking up his like arrest record.
Yeah, I was like, Google.
Yeah, I know. I tried looking it up. I couldn't find it, but I could find his Facebook, so whatever. I didn't look that hard, but anyway, so she looks up his arrest record and finds on there that he also was arrested for assault with bodily harm. I think that's the way that that's written in there. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, absolutely not. After we replied with like 88 for the body count, she just like didn't reply anyway. She was done. But like, first of all, because that you don't know what that means. It could be assault of, whoever you're robbing, or it could be like Your girlfriend,
sadistic.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Crazy.
that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so and this is why I feel like most like men don't understand why girls are such FBI agents, and it's because of this.
Yes.
So that is literally for that reason women are FBI agents, and I will forever look up and like try to just find like any information on a guy if I can.
Yeah.
Like
Before a date. Yeah.
not my fault you're Googleable.
Yeah. So my last one. This one's pretty short and sweet. But I just thought it was so silly. Went on a coffee date with one guy for maybe 45 minutes between classes. A friend set us up and it went all right. And I totally intended on going on a second date with him. But then he started sending me poems about myself nightly. Mind you, I majored in English and every poem was incorrect with grammar or form. So that made them all so much worse. That's creepy.
That is weird.
Read the room.
A 45-minute first date, and then you're getting nightly again. Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, what are you guys doing?
I feel bad for some men because I feel like they're just trying their best. They're trying to be that guy that's like, I'm gonna write her poems, and it's like, read the room.
It's like maybe wait.
Yeah.
Maybe like wait until like.
Did you guys talk about poems? Did she say she liked poems?
Or especially if you know she's an English major, maybe make sure they're structured correctly. Because I mean, if I wrote a poem right now, I'd be like, this is amazing. However, it's probably not correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, the poem's cute. Yes.
Every night.
Little weird.
I want the poems. I think this is us requesting the poems. Send in the poems.
Yeah. I say like, okay, for future dating, like for our male listeners, keep the poems, tone back the nightly poems, and wait a couple months maybe to give first said poem.
Yeah. Or like maybe, hey, I wrote this poem, but it's not about you. Like, I don't know, if the first date you guys are talking about like poetry and stuff like that, and she's like, oh my God, I love poems. Okay, go on a few more dates. Oh, I actually write poetry. I really like, or I like to try to write poetry. Can I write something for you? Yeah, I don't know. I am so excited for your next story.
Okay, when I read this, I died.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope you think
I don't know it.
I hope you think it's just as funny as I did.
I know I'm going to.
Okay. So, one time I was giving a guy a blowjob while he was driving. Scary. Mm-hmm. And right when he was finishing, he at the same time let out the wettest fart I have ever heard in my entire life.
No.
Needless to say, we did not last.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I read that and I died because we all like you already know like the placement. What do you do? And I had so many like follow-up questions I should have asked because this person would have sent me back the answers. But I'm like, did he shit himself?
Did he say sorry? Did you guys ignore it?
Yeah, like what did he like? There's no way you can ignore that. Like,
even if you ignore, like you're so startled.
Yeah, that would be enough to. I think I'd tuck and roll out of the car.
And do you think it was like an accident, like he was doing it, and then it was like, oh, or do you think it was like, sorry?
I feel like I want to hope that he wasn't just like planning this.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, what do you say? Like you're in the car, so you're obviously going somewhere. Like who knows? I don't know if they were going.
What do you do? Just like sit back up and you just don't talk, like, or you're like, ha 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 ha, please drop me off now.
Yeah. Or are we pretending that it's not doesn't smell? Are we pretending that
does
did
it? Like did it smell? Like
I'm gonna go with the yes.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna
I feel like if you just gave me pink eye, I'm taking you to jail.
Yeah. I feel like you need to pay me a lot of money.
Poor girl. Oh.
I read that and I was like, oh my God.
That's like a story that you may not even tell anybody for
No.
like, even your friends. You're just like, who was that more embarrassing for?
Yeah,
Literally.
Literally.
I don't want anybody to know.
That would be a story that I would really have to sit and like process through that one, because I'd be like, that just did not happen.
Yeah.
But that happened, and
Oh my God. I think that's a incredible one to leave us off on.
That's very brave.
Brave.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who sent us in their stories. I enjoyed reading them.
Yes.
I enjoy hearing about just, I feel like it brings us closer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know we had like one male sender in her, but I feel like it brings us closer. Like we're not all alone in our tragic dating stories.
Yeah. And it also shows us that women can be crazy too.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, yeah, we know this.
Not many, but
yeah, not a lot, but no. I'm sure if we did like this again, and like more guys would be like, no, I have a story for you.
Yeah, send them in.
I know. Oh my God. So it's just nice to know that, you know, for the unlucky, the bad and the ugly, we're not alone. And then for the few cute little stories we got, there is hope.
Yeah.
There is hope.
Yeah. So on that note, if you have any more dating stories or any stories that you want us to read, silly, goofy, sad, whatever, you can either DM us on our Instagram, which is Too Delusional to Care 11. You can send them there, or you can send them to our email. It's katieandmccall@gmail.com. But otherwise, please follow us on Instagram, on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, because we want to do this and we feel like you want us to as well. So
yeah, we wouldn't be too delusional if we didn't.
Yeah. So you can find us on everything under Too Delusional to Care. Instagram is Too Delusional to Care 11. So yeah, send us any stories or what you want to hear from us, and
send us some ideas. And as always, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.